Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Messy. This is Jamie.
And Christina.
And we have been talking a lot about wanting to have experts on the show. And, from everything that Christina and I talk about ourselves and a lot of our listeners, we really wanted to get into talking about trauma and the body and where it possibly could be stored and what that means. So to start us off down that road, we have our guest today, Dr. Scott Lyons. He is a licensed holistic psychologist. He's author of the book, Addicted to Drama, Healing Dependency on Crisis and Chaos in Yourself and Others. He is also the host of the Gently Used Human podcast. I love that title. And so much more. We cannot wait to talk to him and dive in. Please welcome Dr. Scott Lyons.
Hi, loves. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are so excited to have you here with us and talk to us. We've been needing you.
I've been needing you.
I need you to move in with me, and we're just going to do this somatic thing all day, every day.
That's you all. Had me at hello.
Okay. You complete me, Dr. Scott.
Oh, wow. It's literally love at first sight, guys. Well, there's so much to discuss today. But first, we want to start by talking about your background and how you got into this work, because I think most people we find, especially those that are in the healing space, I found tend to find their passion through their own needs of an experience of this type of healing. So we'd love to hear how you fell into this work.
Yeah, I would say the majority of people who end up in the healing profession do it because they needed it, or it's a great avoidant tool from them doing it. So
wow.
I'm a little of both. Let's just call it like it is. Also, the reason I don't date therapists. So,
Love it.
I think the work really started for me as a kid when I experienced myself, and I wrote about this in my book, but I talked about this to my parents at a young age, where I said, I feel like I'm a walking ghost. And I didn't have the fancy terminology that I do now, which is I was totally dissociated. I was out of my body. I was in constant hypervigilance, fighting for survival in my nervous system and trying to operate as a kid too. And it manifested as kind of chronic migraines as a kid and a lot of attentional deficit issues and learning disabilities. And, back in the 80 days, all they did was know how to say, eat less salt and, take some medication, take a bunch of Ritalin. And for me, even at a young age, I could feel like they were not right. The medication didn't make me feel like me. And I wanted to feel more of me, not less. And so it really began this journey of figuring out how do I become more in myself and feel less like life is against me and I'm more with life.
I mean, I think you speak for a lot of us. I can that's the inside of my brain. And as a child as well, I can only imagine so many kids feeling that way. And you talk about this, primal need to be seen, especially as children, and this, concept of unmet needs.
Yeah.
And it can start at such a young age. How does that impact us as we grow? And, a lot of us, Christina and I both are mothers. How also can we assist as parents, knowing that this starts so young?
Yeah. Well, we don't come into the world with all the tools that we have, hopefully, as an adult. So all the ability to say, hey, that doesn't feel good, or a boundary, or to self-regulate or to self-soothe. We don't have any of that. So we really rely on our caregivers, our parents, our community to really install that into us, literally installing it into our nervous system by modeling it, by being present with us, by being loving, by being supportive, by being consistent. All of these things, and by meeting our fundamental needs of being seen, heard, connected with, supported, felt, all of these things literally build a sense of confidence to be present and, structurally help us develop our brain, develop a sense of worth and value. But mostly, it allows us a sense of being able to regulate and express our emotions. And without that, we get into a whole terrain of later in a childhood and adult life, a lot of like autoimmune disorders because of that
Mm.
level of suppression. I mean, let's
Yeah,
talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it
let's
because
talk about
there's
it.
so much more, research coming out about the fact that, hey, man, MS,
Yeah.
they're seeing that it's kind of caused by the traumas,
Yeah.
and they're seeing that those of us that have it have certain personality traits, let's call them, not disorders, just
Nope. Traits.
traits. Or yeah, in my case, maybe disorders, but just
personality, cute little things that make
cute
it.
little things that
Cute little
really
things.
can ruin a life.
Yeah.
But that's just those things. And it's like, I get so mad when I read this stuff because I'm like, mother effer,
Yeah.
like, why didn't someone help me out, man?
Yeah.
And here we are in this situation with something that is so devastating. And,
Yeah.
but I remember when you were talking about being seen, I remember being 18 years old and I had this boyfriend who was pretty awful, and we were somewhere and he just kept talking over me. I guess maybe that's why I'm interruptus. Anyway, I made a decision in that moment to say he needs it more than I do. And kind of this agreement that I made with myself that I didn't want to be seen anymore. And yet I was in a business where all I was seen. Right.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why I'm saying this. I just am sharing because you're now my new therapist and you're going to move in.
BFF. And BFF, don't forget.
And BFF for sure.
I mean, here's the deal is when our fundamental needs don't get met, these fundamental needs build our capacity to be present with our emotions, to self-soothe, to take care of ourselves, to be in relationship to other people. All of those things help us navigate the stressors of life. And if we don't have that capacity, then we are drowning in the stressors of life. And that effect then becomes these autoimmune disorders.
When you're saying about not meeting unmet needs, is that meaning like not witnessing and listening to people's feelings, allowing them to process, like not having people be present enough with you? Because, when we're stuck in our own heads, things can go crazy. And I find, like, as I've learned as an adult through years of a lot of hard work, being vulnerable and getting things out of my head and out in the world, whether it be on paper or to a friend, like they lose their power. You start to get more reason, but as a child, you don't know how to do that.
No, we can't communicate our fundamental needs,
right.
Especially at that really early stage of life when this imprint happens. When if it's there, awesome. We get the secure base of attachment, which means that we can fundamentally express our emotions, we can self-regulate, we can self-soothe. I know that when I'm feeling anxious, I can go take a walk. That's an ability that comes and stems from that. When we don't have that, we get these insecure attachment stances or styles, which fundamentally means we don't have the imprint of how to balance our nervous system, how to balance our emotions, how to balance expression in a way that makes us more adaptable in life.
Yeah. So what could you tell a child? Like what kind of things can I do as a parent to make sure that my kids are being heard?
Interesting. It's less about being what we can say, and it's more about being. So it's less about doing, more about being. And that's a fundamental thing in life, right? That propensity for busyness of doing. And we think that's productive. And it can be. And on the outside, it is. And it's often rewarded. That's how we even get into this addiction to busyness, addiction to stress. But to fundamentally be with ourselves and to be with another human being. Like, Christina, if like I'm totally distracted on my phone while you're talking, I'm not actually being with you. And a child picks that up. We
Right.
have all of these parts of our nervous system that are registering the presence of another human being and the quality of that presence, even through our touch. Touch is our first capacity to experience and receive a quality of presence.
Is that why I ask my husband sometimes, I just need a hug?
Oh, yeah. Plus, that releases oxytocin. And
Right.
so you feel more bonded, you feel more connected. Oxytocin helps reduce cortisol, all those fun
But
things.
sometimes I need that more than a conversation.
Oh,
I mean, like,
yeah.
that's like just enough.
Is
Oh,
he a
you
good
mean
hugger?
just an actual
Yes.
hug, not a metaphor for.
We're talking
Definitely
about
not. We've been together.
Hugs.
A literal hug.
a real hug. Yeah,
Yeah.
a real hug releases oxytocin, which counteracts, that cortisol.
Right,
And it's like, yes, it makes us feel more bonded. And typically, the thing that's missing when we are anxious, when we're overwhelmed, when we have had trauma, is a sense of relational connection as a
Mhm.
self-soothing balm.
Mm.
Because the opposite of addiction and the opposite of trauma isn't like calm, isn't sobriety, it's human connection.
Yeah. What are
Mm.
the personality traits that you find are common with people with autoimmune disorders?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it varies. I don't want to get into too
Yeah.
much labeling, but we're going to see more things like people pleasing. We're
Yeah.
going to see boundary challenges. I'm getting some thumbs up.
We're counting them.
We're counting
Okay.
them. I think also people who are overexpressive or underexpressive. And I'm gonna unpack that a little bit. So expressive meaning suppressive, repressive emotions. That just literally suppresses your immune system, and that's prevalent in our culture. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are actually supported to experience and express the full range of the human experience, the human emotional wheel or rainbow? Not so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the questions I often ask people, or I don't think, I often ask people the question of like, what emotions were allowed in your household? What emotions were expressed? What emotions were unexpressed and not allowed? And that's going to give you a lot of information. Now, overexpression might seem strange because we're going, well, if the suppression repression of emotions is the thing that causes a lot of the immune suppression, which then creates an inflammatory response in the body, why would overexpression be an issue? And the reason for that is overexpression is often missing the primary emotional experience that someone is having. So it's like if we have a little bonfire, right? And that bonfire is a little sadness. And all of a sudden I call 5 friends and they're, like that asshole, that person, and they're throwing logs in my fire and I'm throwing logs in my fire by talking really dramatically, by exaggerating the experience, by intensifying it. Then I'm overexpressive. I'm going to have this sort of teenage drama moment, but I'm not actually in touch with the underlying primary emotion. And
Wow.
that is also a major issue that then, down the line results in things like suppression, repression, autoimmune disorders.
Wow.
Support comes from Calm.
So I got the Calm app many, many years ago when my kid was kind of going through some anxious times. And one of the things that she loved to do was lay in bed with me and we would listen to 15-minute meditations. And it was so sweet to look over and see her face go from like scrunched up and upset about her day to like falling asleep next to me and in my arms. And I think, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they have one with Harry Styles talking, and I think that was her favorite one. So
That would relax me too.
yeah,
I
it's
imagine.
like, hello, it's Harry. I'm going to talk you to sleep now. But there are myriad different ones that you can get. There's even like yoga stuff and music, and it's so wonderful. And I just realized I haven't used it in a while, and I probably should.
Yeah, well, I see that. It says they have meditation, sleep stories, calming music, grounding exercises, and expert-led talks. Ones that can specialize in grief, improving your self-esteem, care for your relationships. I mean, I think we hate to have the new year be about, you know, like the pressure around the new year and wanting to do these things, but it's also just inherently in us. It's kind of like the time where you want to sort of reset, and calm is a great way to do that. So,
even if it's 5 minutes, you guys.
yeah.
I mean, just like the sounds of like the white noise sounds or the rain sounds, 5 minutes away from the noise of the world is incomparable to our own sanity.
Amen. So stress less, sleep more, and live better with Calm. For listeners of our show, Calm is offering an exclusive offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/messy.
So go to calm.com/messy for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. Guys, that's a lot. That's calm.com/messy.
So how does stress and trauma get stored in the body?
Ooh, this is a really well, the body keeps the score, as the book says.
Yep.
And it's interesting because when we think about stored, we think about it as though it's like collected in one place, right? Like a container. And what actually happens with trauma is a fragmentation. So in a traumatic experience, we split apart. Now, physically, do we split apart? Not so much that it's obvious to be like to the naked eye, but inside our body, the mechanisms split apart, the memory system split apart, and I'll break all of this down. So we have something called declarative memory or narrative memory, which is like I went to the store and then I bought this and then I came home from the store. That's like an autobiographical narrative. It's like this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and there's a sense of time to it. Now, there's another part of our memory system that dances with that called the implicit memory system. And that's automatic. That's how we know how to ride a bike without thinking. It's also all the emotions and sensations that come with a memory. In trauma, these two memory systems fragment apart.
Wow.
And what's really challenging is that in that fragmentation, we lose a sense of time, which is why the past feels like the present. So it's constantly replaying itself because it's not able to have the container of the narrative memory to go, this happened, and then it ended. We don't have the sense of ending anymore. And so there's the way that memory is working is the sensations, the feelings get triggered really easily. And there's a sense that the trauma has not stopped. That's just one small part of it.
Right.
I mean, how nerdy do you guys want to get? You tell me. Very nerdy. Let's do this shit. All right.
Let's get as
Let's get
nerdy as
nerdy
possible,
on.
please.
How
Thank you.
hot is that to get nerdy? Like, I don't know
So
about you.
fucking hot.
So fucking hot.
Tell my kids all the time, be the nerd.
Let's talk about the medial prefrontal cortex of the brain, y'all. Ooh, say them words.
Sexy.
All right. So in trauma, that part of our brain that helps us map that our sense of self also gets fragmented. And we're not able to actually take in present day sensations and feelings, even accurate senses of how we're moving our body to feed that part of our brain that this is where and how and who I am. So we truly lose a sense of self. Also, another aspect that gets fragmented and stored in the body with that whole thing, what I was talking about, time, and is we lose a sense of future. When we're in a trauma, when we're in a high anxiety, we lose a sense that something more could happen, that we could heal, that will be okay. We lose a sense also of motivation. We see that in less ability to feel inspired, but also it's a dopamine restriction, right? We're less, and in a dopamine restriction, We also feel less bonded to people. So
You feel separate.
we feel separate. That's another aspect of how the body keeps the score of trauma, is through another element of fragmentation. Especially if it's been more of like a relational trauma, we feel cut off from ourselves, which causes, and this is really interesting, it literally causes a physical sensation of pain in our body. Because emotional and physical pain are not separate. They're not registered separately in the body. A heartbreak feels like we just got fucking stabbed in the heart, right?
Yeah.
Because it's indistinguishable.
Wow.
And so when we experience that separation within ourselves, we experience pain. When we feel that separation between ourselves and another person, we also experience that sense of pain. And so one of the things to really register and look at, because as humans, our basic evolutionary design is to not be in pain, is to do whatever we can do to not be in pain. We have so many biological mechanisms. We have so many strategies in our life to not be in pain, psychological or physical pain. And so we create these survival strategies like suppressing our emotions, like you were saying, Christina, like not being seen. And that actually creates more challenge, more issues, more likelihood for autoimmune disorders.
Mm.
Are we having fun?
Sorry, I'm just
So much fun.
so much fun. I've talked a lot about with Jamie, and we've talked a lot about on the show that I have this stomach disorder. We just call it a disorder because at the hospital they can't figure out what it is, and I'm there constantly. But then I thought about the little placard that says, "Our job is to keep you out of pain." Really interesting. Sorry, there you go. But it's like this one. I call it the ball of trauma, and it sits right next where my esophagus meets up with everybody else. And when I'm in a space, I can't even point at it. If I point at it, I'll start throwing up and crying. Like it's the craziest thing. And it's like, that's why I call it the ball of trauma. It's like this place that like stores all the things. And that can't be good. Dr. Scott Lyons, that can't be good for my future.
It's not ideal. Let's just say it's not
Okay.
ideal, but it is also the wisdom of your body doing the best it can. And I think that's an important framework too. It's like we're all, messy. We're all gently used and we're all doing the best we can. And these survival strategies that we've adapted are the ways that maybe what was modeled or what's part of our culture of doing the best we can to thrive.
Yeah. Honoring that. All honoring the whole human experience, right? And that giving ourselves that grace, because I found like whenever I've had the opportunity to do some like deep healing or deep work on myself, a lot of the work is about my relationship with my body, because the truth is I have a lot of resentment towards it. I have a lot of distrust with it. But I've always been led down a path of like honoring my body as opposed to looking as the enemy and be like, wow, you're working really hard to support everything that we're experiencing in this life, and like thanking my body and loving my body, which is really hard to do when you live with something like MS. But like hearing the way that you're speaking about it, that just keeps coming back to my mind, because I can only imagine that. And I want to get to talk to you more about somatic stress release and your work with that. But like creating that harmony, I can only imagine would sort of help. I want to be careful with the word heal, because you always want to be like, then all the physical symptoms get better. I think healing can be multi-layered, right?
Yeah. Healing means a returning to wholeness, essentially. And so that fragmentation that we're talking about that happens as a natural part of our survival design gets to mend back into congruency. And you're right, Jamie, like our thoughts, our beliefs, these ways and these scripts, these like even the fights in our head that we have about people that we all do, right?
Yeah.
All of that has a physiological effect. It's not neutral. It's all actually there's a whole cascade of hormones and responses in your physiological responses in your body to those beliefs being repeated, to those thoughts. And so they have an impact. Now, that's not to say like it's easy to stop. It's not easy to stop thinking about like, I mean, how much of our day do we spend thinking about problems? If we're going to be honest with ourselves, right?
Or even anticipating problems
or anticipating or creating them in our head or creating them not in our head. And whether they're our own individual problems or other people's or the world's problems. And it's like we have a negative bias to focus on problems because we are designed to preserve our resources, our attention, our emotions, our energy levels. But as we're doing that, as we're focusing on the problems, the issues, not only is it having a physiological response in our body, but it's also crowding our ability to have things like enthusiasm or desire or joy or expression or connection.
Wow.
I was going to say, because I grew up in an ideology and in a theology of, meditation and the universe and spirituality. And the biggest thing is thought is creative.
Yeah.
And that's so scary. It's like, it's so scary because you start to fight with that, get thee behind me, Satan, like stop with your crazy thinking because, oh my God, you're going to create cancer in your body. You can go crazy with this and trying to neutralize that is like the responsibility of that. But
but that's also a form of anxious revving. Right?
Okay, thank you. I wanted to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, where it's like, oh my gosh, if I think this, then I'm going to get this. That mechanism, the sort of revving of ourselves is more of the issue than the thought itself.
Well, I was going to say, like, I remember looking in the mirror after a shower. This was in 2007. And my boobs were starting to, get saggy. And I was like, oh man, I hate my boobs. And then I was like, no, don't say stuff like that. You can't say stuff like that. But I did get cancer the next year. And I'm not sitting here saying that that's, I was probably going to get it anyway. I have BRCA, but it was like my fear of saying that, like that's horrible self-talk that we do. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think I'm saying like, how afraid do we get of that? And how can we neutralize it and then gain power?
Yeah. I mean, I also might take that, Christina, as like, okay, you came out of the shower and there was an intuitive sense to look at your breast. And then the natural input was to judge or assess it as opposed to going, oh, what's here that's drawing my attention?
Wow, it's just a shift in thinking, right? Is that what they say? All a miracle is a shift in perception. Like, it's just like you could have looked at that completely differently. Like the way the things transpired didn't change, but the way you think about it did.
Well, I was going to say this too, and then I'm going to be quiet because I'm talking too much. But
you're not.
When I broke my foot on Broadway, I was standing in the wings and I said to myself, these shoes aren't stable enough. I'm not going to wear these shoes tomorrow. And I ran out on stage and I broke my foot. And it was like this thing of like, I didn't create it, but it was like what you just said. It was like, I have to stop for a second. Like, why am I having this thought? And how do I then, the word neutralize keeps, or replacement, because the brain's so fucking gnarly up there. Like, I didn't create it in 20 seconds, but I should have just stopped and gone like, you're already knowing this. You're knowing that this is not a good thing for me.
And what an interesting distinction, right? Between like revving our stress systems up versus hearing the inner wisdom or the inner like dialogue within ourselves that's informative, intuitive.
Yeah, we're so much more inclined to beat ourselves up than to like look at it and honor like a gift of intuition.
Yeah, absolutely. What Broadway show is this, by the way?
Sweet Charity.
Oh, should we sing it now together?
We can. The minute you walked in the joint.
Oh gosh.
What?
Should I leave?
Distinction, a
Real big spender.
Real big spender. That's it.
So break.
Oh.
It was right after that song that I broke.
It was right after
Okay.
the song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Support for Messy comes from iRestore.
I use my iRestore Illumina face mask probably 4 to 5 times a week.
Wow.
What is this mask, you ask me? It's not just a face mask. It's a 360 medical grade LED pure magic piece of like heaven. I do my nighttime routine. I put my lotions, I put my serums, whatever it is. I turn on the TV, put on my favorite show, pop on my mask, and that's all I got to do to get great skin. And we're talking like lifting, better skin quality, reducing the signs of aging, fine lines. And you even forget that it's on. Like literally rewatch all of The Office, and Illumina face mask has got you covered. It's lightweight, it's breathable, it's comfortable, and it has a battery pack, which is kind of nice. So you can bring it wherever you want to bring it.
So you could
to
scare your
in the
kids
house.
too.
Correct.
You can just be like,
this is very, very true.
It's awesome because it kills 2 birds.
Yeah, it
You
has.
can make them leave you alone so you could watch reruns of The Office and just go and look younger.
That's right, because it's hitting your skin while you're scaring your kids with red, infrared, and blue light all at once. So again, it's tackling wrinkles, it's tackling acne, inflammation like a boss. And for a limited time, our listeners can save $205 off their iRestore face mask.
Wait a minute. What? No. What?
$205 off at irestorelaser.com/messy25. So you head to irestorelaser.com/messy25 and you can give yourself the gift that you really wanted this holiday season. iRestore is so confident in their products that they offer a 12-month money-back guarantee. So you can get this guilt-free. And again, just 10-minute sessions 3 to 5 times a week, and you and your loved ones will see brighter skin.
Now's the perfect time to treat yourself. For a limited time only, our listeners get $205 off their Illumina face mask with code MESSY25 at irestorelaser.com. That's $205 off the Illumina face mask, guys, with code MESSY25 at irestorelaser.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Unlock your best skin with iRestore. Support for Messy comes from Branch Basics.
Branch Basics is the only line of products that we use to clean in our home. I can't tell you how much we love them. We are completely committed to have the peace of mind that we're creating a safe environment for our family. It's all natural cleaning products. It's safe. It's the new year. It's time to prioritize what truly matters for you and your health starts at home. I know we're getting inundated with information about all the toxic things that are constantly surrounding us, but Branch Basics understands that and it makes it really easy. They have their premium starter kit, which is a perfect way to kick off your healthiest year yet, because a lot of these conventional cleaning products, they're loaded with harmful chemicals. There's hidden toxins that not only irritate our skin, but disrupt our hormones and pollute the inside air of our home. And it's time to break that cycle, like we said. So the premium starter kit features the powerhouse concentrate that literally works on everything from washing laundry to scrubbing counters to tackling the bathroom grime. And you can even use it to gently clean produce, by the way. It is because it's plant and mineral based. It's safe for babies and pets and anyone with sensitive skin.
Again, so it's made from plant and mineral-based ingredients. It's biodegradable, human safe. It's just ideal for families, especially those with little ones. My kids have a lot of allergies. And you know that fresh smell that you always want in your home? We feel that, but without the toxic fumes coming right up our noses. And all you need to restock is the concentrate and the oxygen boost. Plus, these kits, again, make a perfect gift for somebody. Give them the gift of health to restart with Branch Basics.
Branch Basics can help you kick off the new year with a healthier home and a fresh routine. Right now, our listeners get 15% off their entire order by using code MESSY at branchbasics.com. That is 15% off your order at branchbasics.com with promo code MESSY. Make 2025 your cleanest, healthiest year yet with Branch Basics.
Well, tell us please more about somatic release. What is it, and how does it work? Because that's a type of therapy, right, that can help with this.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing that we've learned over the last 40 years, and it's been a really trauma's a hot topic. It's in vogue, and. And
it's so cool to be totally fucked up, isn't it?
It's so cool. No. But it's cool. It's cool to know about it and read about it and talk about it. And I want to let people know a little bit about the history, because now that it's all the rage, it took a long time for us in the field to get to that point. My mentors, Dr. Peter Levine, Dr. Gabor Mate, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, these are the big kahunas in the world of trauma. They had to fight so hard for the idea that trauma even existed, just that trauma even existed. Then they had to fight, once that got accepted, that there is something called trauma, that we're not just all hysterical, that it actually is stored in the body, that the sensations get locked down, like you were talking about, Christina, like that cyst, and it just hangs out there. And our body is a storage unit for all of these ways in which we have been fragmented and the impact of the trauma itself. That had to be fought for. And so then, in the history of it, now we get to go, okay, we know more in a general understanding that the body keeps a score of trauma. And that also means that the way to release it is not through talking. We cannot intellectualize, we cannot talk our way out of trauma. We can only feel our way through it. Because that is what is fragmented in trauma, is our ability to feel and to witness at the same time. We actually have to recapture that in our bodies, the ability to feel again, to get through that layer of numbness that protects us, in order to then kind of enter into it, for it to metabolize and release. And so that's essentially what somatic therapy does. It kind of walks you in, or talks you in, back into the sensations of your body, which is... And to move through it, because the language of trauma exists in the language of the body, which is sensation, breath, movement. It's not in this happened and then this happened.
Right.
Else, if it did, a lot of us would have released our trauma a long time ago, if we could just talk our way out of it.
Well, I was going to say too, people would say to me, well, why aren't you in therapy, especially now? I don't want to relive it. I don't want to sit down with someone and go, who's new, and go, here's my beginning, middle, and end. Or, well, not end yet, knock on all woods. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So this person that I've been seeing, it's more about hand on heart. And that was something that you said in this, that says in the somatic release, is about your own connection to yourself. And so I can speak more about that too, please, because that has been really helpful to me.
Yeah. So in the same way, babies are preverbal, right? And they have all these experiences and sensation. That's that primal language that we have. And that's the language that trauma sits in our body with. So you retelling your same beginning, middle story of it doesn't really go into, it's like speaking a different language to the one that needs to be said in order to release it. And so, yes, coming back into like breath, touching into like, if we were to do some of the somatic work, we might do an exercise where we put our hands on or above that area on your stomach and start to slowly bring some breath down and go slow about it. Go really, really slow.
I'm crying about you just even talking about ball of trauma. I'm starting to cry. So I'm going to sit back as I do when I cry.
And you know, it's weird. I have an area that it's in my right hip flexor.
Oh, yeah.
And anytime I've had sort of any type of Reiki work or anything that starts to actually calm my nervous system down and sort of get to possibly the roots of things, my right leg starts like lifting, like higher than I could ever try to lift it. Or like it's just where it's all stuck. It's so tangible and evident. And I think that's sometimes where I like to look at the gift of what we live with and deal with, where we can't look away. We can't just ignore. We have an opportunity to really heal ourselves.
Yeah.
While I know it comes along with a physical struggle, like I just know that there's a lot of work that I don't think I would have addressed about myself had I not been forced to, because I wanted to heal the physical, not realizing that that was just a layer of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The physical and the psychological are just two sides of the same coin. You know, our behaviors are manifestation of what's stored in our body, and what's stored in our body is a response to how we are behaving in the world and our thoughts. It's all interconnected. We can't actually separate it. We can view it from different lenses or perspectives. So maybe, I have this right hip injury all the time, and so as I start to do some Reiki or some physical therapy, I don't know why, I just start crying. Or this memory comes up out of nowhere. Or I realize all of a sudden I want to smoke a cigarette, which is an avoidance technique. Why would I want to avoid what's here? And that it's all information into the same eventual process of release and healing.
So is this where you talk about when you're talking about breaking the pain cycle? So what does that mean exactly?
Yeah. So, I mean, pain is really interesting because pain is like often like stress, we give it a bad rep. But pain is a signal that's asking us to pay attention to something.
Right.
Pain is just a signal.
Okay, I'm writing this down. So I'm not paying attention to you. I'm just
you don't have to
texting myself. What did you just say again? So for our listeners,
pain is a signal.
Pain is a signal. Pain is an information, is a messenger letting us know where to attend. Right. And one of the interesting things about pain that I love as a researcher was realizing that part of the mechanism of pain was also a mechanism of protection. So when we have an injury, let's say like I fell off my bike when I was 9 and my elbow got really swollen, right? That inflammatory response is to protect the area. And what happens as I get inflamed in that area is it also walls it off, just like we might feel in our heart is walled off. And when our part of our body is walled off, it means no new oxygen and nutrients are coming in. And we have a lot of extra metabolic waste, essentially like cell poop, if you will. Cell poop.
Yeah.
It's all the rage.
And all the other poops that
and all the other poops
moving around.
And we have more carbon dioxide in that part of our body. And an alarm goes off that says, hey, this area is essentially a little toxic. And that alarm that goes off is pain. And so like part of this whole thing is there's a part of us around pain that is messaging, pay attention. Another aspect of pain that's saying, hey, I'm doing my best to protect this area. And there's an alarm going off that you need to attend to. And I don't know about you, but I have a nephew who is rambunctious, and if you don't pay attention to him, he gets louder and louder and a little more violent. And I was studying for my board exam years ago, and when I'm studying, I just don't hear people. Like, I zoomed in, and I guess he was calling my name for a while, and I just didn't hear him. And he came over and just punched me in the crotch. And, it had to get that loud, and violent, in order for me to attend to him.
Mm-hmm.
And our bodies are not different. The pain that we are in, the cycle of pain that we are in, is because how long have we not been listening? And I'm not talking about just a broken bone.
I don't even know what to do with you today, Dr. Scott.
Should we just...
She's saying that in a good way.
I know what she's saying.
I don't know what to do. Like, I'm literally like, I think I just healed myself from your words. Okay.
No.
So what did you just say again? I'm texting myself again. You said.
I said we can just have a kiki.
Oh,
no, I know.
That's my nickname. So we could have a kiki.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, it has to get loud for you to pay attention to it.
Yeah. And how long have we not been attending to it? Because it will just keep getting bigger and louder in ourselves. And, it's like when people ask me what anxiety is, I say it has been our inability to pick up the phone of our body and listen. And so the ringer just gets louder. Pain is no.
Writing that down. Wait, hold on. Ability.
Don't worry, Christina. You're going to have this episode to listen to.
You're so cute. It's definitely recorded.
I'm writing it down because I want to talk to my kid about it in a minute.
I know.
It's our inability to pick up the phone, so to speak, as the telephone's ringing.
Thank you.
And I'm like, just pick up. It's so scary to pick up that phone, right? We think we're going to be in more pain than the original experience if we pick up that phone, if we listen in, if we feel into it, if we make contact with it.
Or that we'll get stuck in it, right?
Or that we'll get stuck in it, yeah. And so we don't. Or we don't have the support systems, or we don't believe that people are going to be there for us if we do. I mean, if we had the support, the resources, the time, the space at the occurrence of a trauma, we probably wouldn't have something called trauma most of the time. And then again, remember these splits. So our sense of our ability to feel safe with another human being gets split often, or safe with ourselves. And so as we go back to that original trauma to heal, we really need what was missing, which was often that significant, supportive, loving other with time and space and resources to assist us.
Wow. I don't know what to say to you. I'm just going to sit here and shut up now. It's just because I don't know what to do anymore. I've never been more informed and heard and inspired in my entire life. So
I love that.
Messy is supported by Honeylove.
We love Honeylove. It is an independent, female-founded brand, but that's not only reason why we love it. It also has products that are intelligently designed by women who actually wear them, including their founder, Betsy, who is highly involved in the development of each product. We've talked about these bras before. They are wire-free, they are lightweight, they are comfortable, but you are not sacrificing support. They recently launched the CrossFlex bra. So it's designed to support you all day, in and out of your workout routine, whatever you're doing. I fell asleep with mine on because I forgot I had it on. That's how comfortable it was. They also have shapewear, and their shapewear it's just like designed to move with you. So, you don't have those like
pesky shapewears that like roll down,
Them
when you
damn
start
pesky
moving around.
shapewears.
I hate those pesky shapewears that roll
Pesky.
down under me. Their shapewear targets compression, so it enhances your curves, the beautiful curves that you were born with, instead of just like squeezing them. So it's designed to work with your body, not against it. Also, their shapewear is so easy to get on and off. So, when you got to go to the bathroom, like you forget that when you put all that stuff on that you're going to have to pee. Not a problem anymore. They also feature lingerie-inspired design details that, if you're feeling a little frisky or a little sexy, put that dream against your skin.
Now, will it work on Humpty Dumpty? Because that's what my body looks like right now. Will it work, Jamie, on Humpty Dumpty? Which means my midsection is ginormous and my legs are abnormally small.
Well, I know that bra is going to make those tatas look great. And then, I feel pretty confident in Honey Love Shapewear that you're going to tuck it all in and feel nice and secure.
Tuck it all in. And then when it comes off, it makes a noise. But no, I'm excited about this. And the one thing that I really do love about Honey Love is that they're promoting the no underwire.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a controversial statement, but my breast doctor, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, said a lot of breast cancers came from underwires. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm saying it.
You are.
So it's actually a really good thing to not have them. It's not good. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear in the market. Save 20% off Honeylove at honeylove.com/messy and use our exclusive link to get 20% off. Honeylove.com/messy to find your perfect fit.
Yep. So check it out. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with Honeylove.
Yeah. Support for Messy comes from Lumi.
Everyone in my life is really tired of me talking about Lumi. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Everyone is tired about me talking about Lumi. Probably because I talk about body odor, but no, or lack thereof with Lumi. I saw an ad like a couple years ago, and those ads that come on and you're like, is this real? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check this out because it said 72 hours. I was like, that sounds like BS. Guess what, guys? More than 72 hours. That's my claim, not their claim, my claim. Because I go more than 72 hours without cleaning myself sometimes, and I don't smell. Now,
No
that
shame
might
in
be
that.
my opinion, but I'm just telling you right now, I don't smell. This stuff is magical because it's not a deodorant. It is a blocker of stink. That's also, again, not something that they have said, but it blocks the stink. Now, that doesn't mean that it's an antiperspirant that's blocking your pores, that becomes an issue that we all know is not good. This just works with the chemistry of your body to stop the stink where the stink starts. So your armpits, your hookah, your bubba, your bottom of your feet, wherever you have the stinkies, you put this stuff on after your shower. And I'm telling you, the scents that they have are amazing. If you don't like a scent, they've got plain. I don't know if they call it that. I don't think they call it Lumi plain. I think it's non-scented. But I love the sprays because the sprays, then you don't touch the privates and the stuffs. You just spray it. My favorite is grapefruit or tangerine, rather. Sorry. Also, my favorite juice, tangerine juice. Now I smell like tangerine juice. But anyway, I love it so much. There's a solid stick. There's cream. The wipes. Oh my God. Cucumber. So refreshing. So amazing. Guys, I'm telling you from personal experience, this is the last quote unquote deodorant you will ever need is Lumi.
And Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers will get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. So use code MESSY for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's code MESSY at LUMEDEODORANT.com. And please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Lumi.
It's truly so helpful. I know not just for us, but so many people that are listening, because these are the things that we need to be reminded of, that we're not broken, that it's not hopeless, like that there's that, and that we deserve to be attended to and listened to, and that connecting to ourselves allows us to connect to, other people, like you said, coming in whole. So I know that, and we'll get into the ways that people can find more of your beautiful teachings, but quickly to give some of our listeners, tangible steps that they could make today to possibly help them either release some of their stress or begin to acknowledge that how to, or, if in ways that they could break these patterns and get connected to themselves again.
Before you answer that, Dr. Scott, I have to say, because there is such a stigma, there's a less of a stigma surrounded around, mental health issues and trauma and emotions. You coming into this world and making it like this beautiful conversation, I think is truly remarkable. And I am so grateful to you, because we're told from a young age, the worst thing you can say is buck up, buttercup, But then at the same time, it kind of makes you have to kind of push through some stuff. But also it's honor, people don't honor their stuff because you feel like you're a burden, or you feel like, you're weak, or all that bullshit that pisses me off.
Or could they also not honor it because they're comparing their trauma to others and being like, well, it's not that
as bad as MS's.
So they don't, right.
I have said to people, my life is worse than yours. Sorry. just gonna tell you that.
I mean, we have as a culture got into something called the Trauma Olympics and compare to despair.
I like
friends.
that.
The
compare
way
to despair, writing it down. Go ahead.
The way that the thing is that trauma is not about the event.
Right.
Someone who goes through war and another person who goes through war may have very different experiences depending on the resources and the support that they have going in and coming home. We know that from the research. We know that people who have a family to come home to is loving and supportive after they have been in a war zone are significantly less likely to develop an addiction. So I say it's not about the event. It's truly about how it is landing, how it is experienced in the body. And so what might be a small T trauma to you might be a big T trauma to someone else. And vice versa. A big T trauma to you might be something they can just move through more easily.
Yeah.
And so, and this is what, Trauma Olympics is about. How it developed is about a limit. Look, I could get into a whole lecture about capitalism, but essentially, and I don't mean just money. I mean capitalism is not actually about money. It's about the exchange of attention as resources, right? What if I can capture and maintain your attention? That's called the attentional economy. It's about control of someone else's attention. That's how capitalism actually works. And strangely enough, how do you capture someone's attention? Create a stress response in them. It's easy.
Huh.
So those who understand the science and the mechanisms to create the most amount of stress generate the most amount of attention. So you create anger, anxiety, awe in someone, you got their attention.
Is that why parents can say they don't listen to me unless I yell?
Yeah. All of those things. But it comes back to there's a limited amount of resources of attention in our attentional economy. And everyone wants a piece of it because so many of us are missing that fundamental need of being attended to on a deep core level, right? And so that drive to get seen and heard is really at the forefront of so many people's desire. And so we start to actually compete. We say, my trauma is more than yours, or whatever, something like that. Or we exaggerate or intensify our own symptoms in order to get that attention, because attention could also lead to relief. If we're really looking at it from a neurohormonal perspective or neurobiological perspective, it's not just basic attention, it's meaningful attention is what releases endorphins or the pain relief and bonding hormones.
Wow.
I don't think I answered your question, but I'm happy we went there.
Because I interrupted.
No, you're answering Christina's question. No, but now I'll re-ask it again.
Okay.
I'm just asking to give our listeners and us, as I'm sure, hope. But like I'm sure people are going to be wanting to sort of dive more into your teachings. But for right now, what are some tangible things that we can do to help release some of our stress or break some of these patterns, or at least acknowledge them?
Yeah. Can I answer that with a little more nerding out?
Yes.
Please.
Okay. I'm just here for nerding out with y'all. To understand how we release stress, it's important to understand what stress is and the cycle of stress. So stress is just our basic biological process of getting us to be adaptive. That's it. It's not some big bad boogeyman in the closet that's trying to kill us. It is our biological, so our nervous system, our hormones, essentially releasing into our body to get us to be in response to something, to a stimulus, and to adapt to it. A baseball is coming at me. I need to have some energy to decide, do I duck? Do I catch it? Do I try to hit it? Do I scream at it? Whatever. To be able to be responsive. This is how we are in the dance of adaptation of life. So there are 4 stages to a stress response. The first is called activation. That is all those hormones, is what are called glucocorticoids, stress hormones, filling through the body. Yeah. And they're great. They literally give us energy. They give us a sense of connection to other people. They give us a sense of pain relief. All super great things. Also why we might become addicted to it. And so that first stage, activation, it basically just means like taking a cup of coffee, getting energized. Then we got to do something with that energy. We got to duck from that ball that's coming at us. We got to hit it back. We got to do something that's adaptive. Otherwise, we just get hit in the head with that ball, right? Because we're not in the dance of life.
Sorry.
No one wants that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm such a dirty bitch. I'm so sorry.
Are you quoting?
She's talking about a different ball.
I know. What was that movie?
I'm so sorry. I am listening to you and I respect you, but
do you remember
you keep talking about balls coming at your head and I'm like, no one likes it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. There goes your social life.
That's
so
right. There you go.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Scott. You were amazing and I'm so enthralled. Okay, so balls and face.
Balls and face.
We don't want the balls in the face.
We don't want this ball in face.
Right. Particularly, yeah.
This is a hard, non-fleshy ball. And this particular ball is ouchy and gives us a concussion or hurts us or harms us or causes more trauma, right? And so the first stage, activation. Second stage, mobilization. We have to use that energy towards adapting in life. Third stage is we got to have that come down. Jamie, you talked about that before, of like starting to release a little bit in your nervous system, getting that more rest and digest energy going so that you feel more. Because in the third stage of stress is actually where we come back to sensing and feeling again in our body. The first 2 stages, we are actually designed to feel and sense less. Important to come back home to ourselves and feel some shit. The 4th stage is recuperation. It's literally regenerating that energy at a fucking mitochondrial level, cellular level, You usually have to say fuck when you're talking about cellular mechanisms.
Always.
Please.
Always.
Especially
always.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
We
I wouldn't
almost,
have understood it if you didn't say fuck.
we almost toyed with calling it just fuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I think that's already trademarked, so I'm so sorry about that.
Okay.
Dang
Never
it.
mind.
Yeah.
Never you mind.
So we have this stage, and that is the full stress cycle, right? We get more energy so we can keep doing it, keep dancing and adapting in life. What often happens is that we get really activated in our life. Like there's a bunch of horns as I'm in traffic, and I just like take it. I get this flood of stress response to adapt, and I got nowhere to go with it, and I repress it and I suppress it, just like my emotions. We must move that energy. Yeah. And it's literally as simple as kind of connecting to that sort of rush in your body, that the sort of caffeine rush, so to speak, and doing something with it. Go for a run, do some push-ups, do some shaking. If you can't, if you're not able-bodied in that way, then
We
move
shake
your
and
toes.
can't run. So, but what else can we do?
We got some shimmy your shoulders.
What about
Wiggle your
screaming?
nose.
I've done screaming.
Oh, we do screaming.
Screaming
Or
is
is
a
that
little
too much?
tricky because
Okay.
it can
Pourquoi?
be pourquoi indeed. So screaming can reactivate and create more logs on a fire. So it depends
Wow.
how you're screaming. It
Okay.
depends how. Is it like when you have that scream, is it connected to your body? Is it connected to that source of tingling and activation? And does it feel like it's moving it? Yeah. Otherwise, does it feel like I'm screaming so loud it actually triggers because I'm listening to my own sound more
fudge.
activation?
Wow.
Fudge.
And then we're in something called catharsis, which is not what we want.
No.
Yeah.
No. Wow.
Why don't we want catharsis? Sorry, I'm like
old school catharsis.
I might use that word incorrectly sometimes
No.
I'm like, this just feels good to me.
Yeah, it's a release. A catharsis in this sense, when I'm talking about like a no-no catharsis, is essentially like old school. Like my mom used to come home from this women's group and they would peel oranges. So the first part was like sensual, sexual. I don't know why she told me that. Now that I'm saying that loud. But the second part,
I'm never going to look at an orange the same.
No, I don't. There's a reason I don't eat citrus, and I just realized why.
Okay.
The second part of the class was basically screaming into pillows and then like imagining that their exes or whomever in the room, their parents, and then like beating them with the pillows. That's a old school catharsis model. And what it typically ended up doing was actually creating more trauma, as opposed to just being with the sensation and allowing the sensation to release. It's different because if we keep imagining the villain, then we keep flooding ourselves. And the idea is that we're mobilizing and metabolizing, not flooding. Okay.
Texting myself.
Text yourself that, and then text your kiddo that.
Dr. Lyons, I feel like we need to have like a part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 with you, because I feel like we just scratched the surface. But I think you opening the two of us, our minds, and the other people that are listening to you, of just being able to understand like the process of things. I already feel some of the power being taken away from it. But what a gift you are.
Thank you.
To us and to this world, because we don't have to suffer this badly. You know, I think we can honor that life is full of lessons to make us grow, like for our own good. But I think that we also don't have to hold on so tightly to these experiences that might have shaped us, like that we can let them go. And so thank you for giving us the tools and permission to do that. Will you please just tell our listeners all the ways that they can find you?
Oh, I was going to do that, but I want him to do it because I like his voice more than
I do too.
Stupid voice.
I love your voice, but I think I like his better.
Yeah, I know. I think we have a crush on Dr. Scott.
I think we do.
Well, thank you. I feel blushy. And also thank you both for your vulnerability and you sharing your life experiences. And, I think you opening up and sharing your process to the world is so meaningful and so impactful. And it makes so many of us feel less alone. And that is the remedy, that's the balm of so much of the healing that we need. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell them how they can find you.
I teach a lot of courses on my platform called the Embody Lab, which is I bring in all these experts, some of them whom I've talked about, and we teach these trauma trainings to everyone. So it's really accessible tools and support systems that you can learn as a practitioner or for yourself. And then my personal website is Dr. Scott Lyons, Dr. Scott Lyons, and it's the same on socials as well. And we can kiki online and hang out.
Let's kiki.
Let's kiki.
And also, not to forget your book, Addicted to Drama, Healing Dependency on Crisis and Chaos in Yourself and Others, which is just huge. I'm going to say huge because it's just more fun to say it like that.
Huge. And if you don't mind, I pick a card from this random deck.
Yeah.
And I read it at the end of each episode. I have no idea what it is. It usually pertains to what we talked about. No pressure.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
I won't. Okay. When you know that you're capable of dealing with whatever comes, you have the only security the world has to offer.
Yes, please.
There you go. Well, we adore you, Dr. Scott. And as we always say at the end, we say something that means it's amen. It's the English words for amen, which is,
and so it is.
And so it is.
This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.